The two Hydra tips that we're about to cover in this account takeover video could well double or even triple your Hydra damage. And I know this to be true because my own Hydra teams recently had their damage boosted from like 150 million to nearly 400 million, and it's still climbing to this day just by employing one of the tips that we're about to touch on. This is an account takeover video for Mr. Adalinka. For once, we're actually taking over a more advanced account with, frankly, more level 60 champions and more stacked than my own account, which is a little bit of a rarity meant for this account takeover series, and so I'm excited to try and boost these Hydra teams. Now, this is what Adalinka had to say for himself. This right here is his best Hydra team, by the way, pulling 219 million damage into brutal difficulty Hydra. Not Nightmare, but brutal. He says, this is my best team, but the damage is not consistent. Huge keyword right there, man, when it comes to Hydra runs, man. Building a consistent team is bloody everything. Managed to get 150 mil from Nightmare once, but I didn't keep the run, and every time afterwards it was below 100 mil. Same with Brutal. To get 200 mil, I was on PC doing reruns all day. And so let's take this Hydra team and let's make it consistently able to push over 150 mil at least into Nightmare every single time. That's my goal. Before we get to all of that and more on this account, hey man, if you're looking to start off a new raid account, man, the best possible way that you can do that is by, of course, clicking on my beginner promo link on laptop or PC, clicking on my beginner promo link down below this video at the top of the video description box, man. Click on that link and use that link to create a new raid account. And on that new account, as soon as you are done with the tutorial, the free stuff is going to start piling in, starting with a free legendary Basilius Varanus. He'll just pop up in your inbox right away. And then a bunch of free epic champions as you level up your account as well, man. Best beginner promo link on, and the only correct way to create a new raid account in 2025. Tip number one on this account, man. If your Hydra damage has plateaued and you're struggling a little bit to push into Nightmare difficulty Hydra, or your runs are just not that consistent, man, what I want you to do is head on into your champion filter and just take a quick scout for any champion that brings this buff right here, man. The increased resistance buff by 50%. If your account is a bit further along, right, your account is like well into the mid game or beyond, you've probably got at least, or hopefully you've got at least, one champion that's bringing a strong increased resistance buff. Alternatively, you can look out for champions on your account that bring a resistance aura in all battles. Very, very important that it's in all battles, so you can activate this sucker in Hydra. Feral the Barkhorn on this account is not being used in any of the account owners' Hydra teams, man. He brings the resistance aura and he brings an increased resistance buff on his A3, as well as Perfect Veil as well, by the way, which is also fantastic into Hydra. Brings a decreased speed on his A1 and then brings block buffs on the A2 and decreased accuracy. Feral the Barkhorn on this account makes our team immune to all debuffs in Hydra. That's how easy it is, man. If you've got a resistance aura champion on your account and you are not using it into Hydra, my god. Or not just resistance aura, but an increased resistance champion on your account as well. Bro, you have got to be using that champion into Hydra, man. Feral the Barkhorn, for me, is a must include, even in a Nightmare Hydra team, even unawakened. We have to be using him, man. I haven't got a whole lot to change in this account, by the way, in terms of champion builds. The Mikage is stacked. The Ninja is in like a crazy good lethal build. He's a little bit over crit cap, but he's doing fine. The Acrizia is another damage dealer we're going to be using. She's in a very, very fast, high crit damage Relentless set, which is just crazy good. She's absolutely popping as well, as far as I can tell. We are a little bit limited on Hydra provokers. We've got the Morley Tankard. Another thing I should draw attention to as well with Adalinka's team is that he's not running a provoker in this team at all. And that could be a massive, massive reason as to why the runs are just not consistent, right? You can have all the damage in the world, and this team does have incredible damage. Very, very good damage indeed on this team. If you're not running a provoker, dude, and the Head of Decay pops up at the wrong time, and unless you just one-shot the Head of Decay again and just decapitate it, it's instantly going to cleanse all of the debuffs off of all of the Hydra heads, which can then open the door for another Hydra head to come in and put a poison cloud, and all of a sudden you're in very, very hot water, because then you can't land decreased attack against the Head of Wrath, and things can spiral out of control very, very quickly. Having at least one provoker on the team is going to be a big, big boost. And again, consistency is key, right? Getting a consistent run, oh my god, what's going on with my camera? Getting a consistent run is super, super crucial. I did go ahead and try out some runs before I started recording with Morley Tankard, but you know what, man? You know what provoker were you going to be running on this account, dude? Oh yes, the Giga Chad Harima is going to be running as the Provoker on this account, man. She brings a 3-turn cooldown Provoke. It's fine. It's fine, right? She's actually currently weak hitting into Head of Decay in the current Hydra rotation, which is a problem because sometimes the Provoke just isn't landing at all. But Harima is also going to bring a source of AoE decreased attack on her A1, right? There's a 50% chance bugged of placing decreased attack on all enemies for 2 turns if this attack is critical. And honestly, she also hits like a bloody truck as well, right? Really high crit damage. Very, very good build on this Harima. And so for me, team number 1 I'm going to be testing on this account is not Adalinka's team that you see on screen right here. It's going to use a lot of the same champions, a lot of familiar faces, but I'm actually going to be switching out the Lydia completely, just getting rid of her completely out of this team, which is a little bit nutty. And also the Mighty Uko, I think, has to go. And this right here is the team that we're going to be running instead. Running the Feral Barkhorn as the aura lead instead of the Uko, so we're giving up some speed in exchange for that resistance aura in all battles by 60. Again, Feral also brings, of course, increased resistance, as we've touched on, as well as decreased accuracy against the Hydra heads, making your team effectively debuff immune into Hydra. As long as like everyone on the team has like at least, I don't know, 170 resistance or something, like super, super low. With all those buffs, it's going to be enough to make them basically debuff immune into Nightmare Hydra, which is insane. We're still going to be running the Elva in the team, of course. A lot of things here are sort of unchanged. But then again, we're switching in the Harima instead of the Uko and instead of the Lydia. And the reason we're using Harima is twofold, right? Again, she places decreased attack on the A1, which normally Mighty Uko would do. We need somebody to bring an AoE decreased attack to keep the decreased attack up on the Head of Wrath. Otherwise, it just risks one-shotting your team and putting you in really, really hot water and a horrible position. And she's going to bring the Provoke just to make the run a bit more consistent. 150 million damage is the number to beat into Nightmare Hydra. Let's have it. Now, I do want to stress that this is, of course, without rebuilding any champions on this team at all. We've got some rebuilds to do. That's going to be a big tip number 2, by the way. Key artifact sets that we should be abusing. God, need to pause to belch. How unprofessional of me. Into Hydra, okay? These are 2 sets that for me are absolute gold dust. One of them has been massively ignored on this account, man. So I can't wait to get to that and rage at Adalinka just a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, man, the team is already functioning pretty good. The ally attack sometimes on the Lady Mikage is not going to trigger on the Ninja, but is actually going to trigger on the Harima instead. The Harima's just beside my camera right now, in Perfect Veil, right there. That's actually fine. That's actually fine. Like, I'm totally fine with that. She just got off the decreased attack right there against the Head of Wrath, which is great. If she's getting the, like, whenever the Mikage A1s, she ally attacks with a random Shadowkin champion, sometimes it's going to be the Ninja, which is fine, and sometimes it's going to be the Harima, which is also fine because the Harima is built for really, really good damage, and also has a chance of placing decreased attack on an AoE, on an A1. So it's fine either way. Like, who gives a damn, you know? Again, the Harima there with the decreased attack coming in big. It's going to nerf the Ninja's damage a little bit by having Harima on the team, but whatever, dude. They just share the damage. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? They're both absolutely smacking. The Acrisia is also utterly just clapping cheeks, which is very, very nice to see. Of course, we always love to see Harima clap some cheeks, I guess. I don't know. And the fact that we're not running a weaken and decrease attack on an AoE on this team, a little bit rough. I'm a little bit less sure about that decision. But at the same time, if it means that we get a consistent team that's just not going to die, okay, and can push great solid damage numbers, like, it looks like to me like the damage numbers are coming together pretty good already. If we can just get a consistent team, that's way more important, man, than randomly hitting for 150 million every now and again, and we can't replicate it, or we have to manual the fight and it takes all day, you know. 150 million or higher consistently, you know, like, let's just do that first, man. Alright, man, so skipping way on ahead, this is 14 minutes into the fight. I gotta tell you the truth, man. With the Ninja having decreased defense on his A1, and the Acrisia having decreased defense on her A1 as well, and the amount of ally attacks coming out from the Mikage, we don't have that much of a problem getting up decreased defense, at least on, like, the main single target smacks that we're getting off in this fight, and so, you know, it would be nice to have like an Ugo or a Lydia on the team or something, or even we've got like a Sikia on this account, by the way. I did a couple of test runs with her earlier on. She's got a very low awakening level and she just dies. She's very, very tough to keep alive, man, even with the decrease attacker on the team and all of our buffs and blah blah. She's just very tough to keep alive, and so maybe she's something we can look to work in the future. Potentially, maybe even replacing the ninja on the team, which is insane, but that's an experiment that we could run on the account later on. We seem to be doing okay though, in terms of damage. About 1 million damage per boss turn count in the numbers right now. That seems pretty good to me. And most importantly, no deaths yet, either. A couple of freak incidents where the decreased attack just wasn't landing on the Head of Wrath and we almost died, but no one actually has dropped yet. And yeah, we just haven't had any need for the Elva's revive just yet. And I gotta say, dude, this Harima hits like a bloody truck, man. I mean, the Acrisia's damage is obviously going to be the #1 damage. She's like one of the best boss killer champions in all of Raid Shadow Legends, so that is what it is. But the Harima's damage too? Very, very nice, man. And we are officially 7 minutes on, I think, from my last recording interval. We're about to push over the 150 million damage mark by just changing the personnel in the team. Again, I haven't rebuilt any of these champions just yet, but yeah, as you can see with the Feral on the team, as long... Okay, all the weakened debuffs just landed, but as long as the Feral has up his increased resistance buffs, I think he's about to refresh those buffs right now, we're just debuff immune. The Head of Mischief can't steal any 10 meter, can't steal any buffs, we can't take any poisons. And there it is, the increased resistance buff just goes up just now. The only thing that we can take is technically True Fears if we attack into the Head of Torment without a Veil buff, but we actually have like a couple of Veil buff givers on the team as well, one of them being the Feral also, and so, you know, more often than not we're safe against the True Fears as well, man. It's just very, very good, dude, and yeah, just goes to show the power of just a high resistance team, man. It's this very kind of like breakneck change that you make on your account where all of a sudden resistance stats start to matter. When you get a champion like Feral on your account, it's actually Androck on my main account, so like a mythical champion. You know, not that accessible, but not a great example. But when you got a champion that has like that resistance aura, or brings an increased resistance buff, or has both, like Feral, all of a sudden, like you start looking at resistance and thinking like, oh my god, like this is actually a really, really good stat now, because it's very easy for me to hit the sort of resistance caps that I need to hit to take into the harder difficulties of Hydra, and it just changes everything, man. The team is just now falling to pieces at 178 million damage. This is end the run right here, end battle. And there it is. The Acrisia, of course, #1 on damage, as you can well see. Harima and Ninja sharing the damage was just a little bit curious to see, kind of funny. Now let's rebuild some champions and see if we can push this even higher. Because for me, another big kind of mistake that we're making on this account is almost building a bunch of champions in 9-piece protection. Again, 9-piece protection sets. Okay, this is the next big thing. This is like the next big tip for massively spiking your Hydra damage. Don't half build somebody in protection set. Go all the way as soon as you can, man. I swear to God, it's really, really good. So the Mikage is the first one that we're going to put in a 9-piece protection set. It gives you a 75% chance to place a protected buff. Very, very nice. Allies deal... This is the bit we're interested in. Allies deal 5% more damage per each buff placed by the wearer. Okay, Mikage, she brings 2 unique buffs. Increased attack and increased crit damage. That right there is 10% damage across our entire team right off the get-go if we get her in 9-piece protection. But we ain't done there, man. We've got Feral, the Backhorn, who's also 1 piece away from being in 9 pieces of protection gear. We're going to go ahead and fix up his build as well, man. He brings, of course, increased resistance and perfect veil buffs. 2 additional unique buffs that he's bringing to the table. That's another 10% damage buff to the entire team, man. At least a 75% chance to be placing those protected buffs. Yeah, it's gonna stack up by a hell of a lot. Now, actually, the Elva on this account is already built in 9-piece protection, and there she is, and there's no rebuilding to be done on the Elva. Frankly, I think that her build is in just a pretty good spot as far as like a PvE support champion goes. We don't need to touch her build. That's fine, man. But the point is, if we rebuild the other 2 champions, right, the Feral and the Mikage, that's an extra 30%, because that's 6 unique buffs we bring to the table with 9-piece protection set supports. It's 30% damage boost to the entire team for basically the entire fight. That's a 30% damage boost for a Ninja, a Harima, and an Acrisia, right? We've got a triple damage dealer loadout here. into Hydra, you know, which is also like a huge luxury on this account to work with. And so let's rock and roll, man. I'm going to go ahead and save the previous build that the Mikage is using right now, just in case for whatever reason Mr. Adalinka wants to go ahead and switch back. Let's just switch on these protection pieces, and she also needs a banner as well. It's not a particularly good banner. Oh my god, it's actually an incredible banner. Oh my god, Adalinka, why do we not... Fuck, I actually forgot, man. I set these builds up before I started recording, just to speed up the process a little bit, because it is like 3:15 in the morning right now at the time I'm shooting this video, so I'm trying to just expedite the video a little bit. My god, I forgot how good this was, and I just looked at it like an hour ago. I'm more tired than I thought, man. The ring is also fine. Frankly, it doesn't matter, man. Just doesn't make any difference. We're just gonna... Oh my god, we don't even have room. We don't even have room in our inventory. Okay, there. I just made some room, man. I just made some room. What? Oh my god, the accessories are also full. Okay, I cleared out artifacts, but not accessories. Give me a sec. Okay, that should finally do it, man. That should finally do it. Let's activate free gear removal and switch the Mikage on over now to 9-piece protection. She loses a little bit of speed to do this. At least I think she did. Oh, she lost a little bit of accuracy. She lost a little bit of something. Now, when it comes to rebuilding the Feral, it's not quite as easy as just changing over his banner, which was the problem, because this is a resistance banner, so he's losing a lot of accuracy when I changed this over, because he did have on an accuracy banner before. Bit of a problem. He is our block buffs champion, so he does need enough accuracy to be doing that job. For that reason, I'm thinking of stealing the amulet from the Elva, who doesn't need the accuracy rolls at all, and then we just find a new amulet for the Elva at that point. But let's also just see if there are some quick fixes amongst his helmets, weapons, and shields. These are just the easiest items to fix. So let's just look for accuracy and speed rolls on our protection gear here. I'm not done, by the way, raging at this account just yet, man. I haven't actually raged at it just yet, man, which is kind of unusual for me in these account takeovers, but there's a very, very particular gear set that I would love to be making use of right now on this account, and it's just not here. This shield could be an incredible upgrade. We don't need more resistance on this, though. Okay, double speed roll would be fine. Okay, goes accuracy. It's okay. Could it be better? This helmet could also be very, very excellent as well, but it kind of needs rolls into accuracy and speed, just no question about it. Here, we can't be mucking around with these rolls. Goes a couple of into a flat attack, no good. Fine, we'll take this shield after all, and I guess we'll also go ahead and throw a couple of glyphs into it, because we have like billions of glyphs lying around that are at least like 4-star quality here. Okay, I've actually decided to steal the weapon off the Podrig as well. We'll go in and fix the builds for the Elva and the Podrig in just a second. Final speeds with the Feral. He's only going to be 2 speeds slower than what he was, which is very much whatever, and his accuracy is about going to stay steady as to where it was as well. Only difference is now 9-piece protection. Let's go. Now, before the moment of truth to see what our build changes actually did to the damage output of this team, it's time to rant and rave a little bit, man. We don't really have a good champion for this set on this team, but we almost did with the Mighty Uko, who was like a millimeter from making the grade for this team, and is obviously an incredible, incredible Hydra champion, but yeah, we'll be like a B tier, like a B team champion on this account, because brings in attack all enemies, decrease attack on the A1, as well as block buffs, blah, blah. Great champion, right? I'm particularly interested in the attack all enemies skill on any kind of support champion, right? Even if it's just like the A2 on like a 310 cooldown, or like the A3 on a 310 cooldown, whatever. Particularly good if it's on their A1 for a support champion at a Hydra. Why? These champions make incredible, incredible candidates for cursed set artifacts. Cursed set literally drops in Ice Golem's Peak. Very, very easy to get your hands on. 50% chance to place a Hex debuff for 2 turns on attack, right? Just a high amount of speed on a bunch of cursed gear, right? 4 pieces of cursed gear on something like a Mighty Uko. Incredible for boosting up your Hydra damage output. And of course, the Head of Mischief can only be targeted if you actually have at least like a Hex debuff up on the Head of Mischief. Big problem on this account. What exactly is the problem? We don't have a single solitary piece of cursed gear on the entire account, man. Oi, 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 oi. Adalinka, you are not the first person to do this on your raid account, but by gum, did I not expect you from this account. This account is stacked and is doing really, really well, but even Adalinka is not immune to ignoring cursed sets, apparently. They're so good. Protection sets and cursed sets are like the 2 sleeping giants of just Hydra artifact sets, man. They're so bloody good. It's a joke, like how good of a difference they make to your Hydra damage output. Anyways, man, now we've got 9-piece protection sets on the Makaga, on the Feral, and on the Elva. Let's see what it does. And because the Harima missed her very first provoke on the Head of Decay there, which just sucks because it's just a weak hit. There's like nothing we can do about it. Against this current rotation, that's just going to be a weakness of the Harima, you know, struggling to land the provoke on the Head of Decay. Just going to restart so that she gets another chance, man. That's it, you know. And this time she does succeed in landing the provoke. Now let's just see where the damage numbers end up. Before, we were doing about 1,000,000 damage per boss turn count for the longest time. I'm going to skip ahead like 3 or 4 minutes and see where we are. That is right after we just see the Acrizia attack into the Head of Decay right now, because I swear she's going to swing in for just a quadrillion damage. Actually, not quite as much as I was expecting, man. Okay, fine. With the current relic that she's using, she takes some time to ramp some damage, right? She's using like the Arethi thing. Anyway, let's skip ahead. Oh my god. We are off to a very, very fast start. I know I keep saying I'm going to skip ahead by a few minutes. Well, it's been a couple of minutes, man. And we're already on the cusp of decapitating 3 heads simultaneously. Things are looking pretty good already. Oh my god. 18 minutes in, boys. And we are pushing to the 150 million damage mark. It's been 1 death so far. Acrizia one-shotted herself into a reflect damage. It was pretty funny. But, you know, I didn't actually catch it on camera. Anyways, man, let's just keep it rolling. Oh my god. We just surpassed the 200 million damage mark. Dude, Feral was a sleeping beast on this account, man. And we gone woke him up, dude. Okay, man. So the Hydra Devours are now not just 2-turn durations, but it's also getting a massive green health bar now. We might be approaching the end of the run at last. But wait a minute, Acrizia is not the one that's devoured, and so she might actually be able to, like, bust this guy out. And by this guy, I of course mean, you know, Harima, who isn't a guy at all, but there you go. Oh my god, Acrizia, you got 1 shot, 1 opportunity to bust out the Harima here. We've lost the ninja. We actually get it done, dude. The run goes on. No! And the run comes to an end. Just shy of 240 million damage, which, you know what? That wasn't even hard, bro. I'm gonna take a screenshot real quick to send to Mr. Adelinka. Okay, it's day 1 of the Hydra reset. I'm not gonna save this key for Mr. Adelinka. He can go ahead and try out this run himself. He's still got all of his quick battles and stuff like that, but that's team number 1 sorted. That's the A team for Hydra figured out on his account now. From 100 million damage into Nightmare, unreliably, it's like 240 million damage on the reliable, man. Pretty good. These, by the way, were all of the teams that I was actually experimenting with on the account. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of these off now. Before I started recording, those were the teams that I messed around with just a little bit. Hydra A team, we'll go ahead and call this one. I am a little bit out of time to experiment with creating a B team on this account. It is approaching like 4 AM in the morning right now, but I think I'd go ahead and run the Thor as the aura lead into this one. Into the B team, because we have a very, very special champion here that we could abuse on this account to help out there. Run the Morley as the provoker, the Uko as the block buffs champion. Probably would run a Lydia on this team for the decreased defense and the weaken debuffs. And then we would also be running a very, very special champion known as Shamil, who's just going to spam 10 meter boosts on the Thor and drastically boost up his damage. And then it's just a matter of finding a healer. The healer could well be the likes of a Preva in the final slot, but I don't think that she's booked on this account. It could just be the Sifi. We could just totally throw the Sifi in there. She could do a fine job as well. A few ways that we could go with this. The only healer that I wouldn't recommend is the Rector Drath. And that's just because Rector Drath actually places perfect veil buffs, and so the Rector would actually nullify the Inquisitor Shamil's 10 meter boosts that he's given on this team, which is not great. We actually want the True Fears to land so that the Inquisitor Shamil can convert those into 10 meter boost for the Thor and be instantly cleansing those, you know, so we actually don't need the Rector Drath in this B team. This would be the B team that I would try out if I had more time to muck around on the account, man. But there you have it, man. Don't sleep on your cursed sets. Definitely don't sleep on your protection sets. And definitely don't sleep on plus resistance and resistance aura champions like Feral in Backhorn, Feral into Hydra, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you also enjoyed this happy little account takeover video. This was a satisfying one, I'm not gonna lie, man. If you did like the video, make sure to hit like down below. And of course, while you're down there, man, if you're looking to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, then make sure to get that done and create that new account using the beginner promo link at the top of the video description box, man. Helps to support the channel, and it's an incredible way to start off a new Raid account with all the free stuff that you see on screen right now.